Honor, Ubisoft Montreal's action fighting game, which had a lot to promise on paper, but left a lot to desire on release. For Honor uses a very complex but flexible melee system which at first seems hard to grasp and hard to get used to, but once learned can be used with great effect. If that effect is slamming a battle axe through an enemy's head or charging a combo of sword swings towards the advancing enemy forces, For Honor seemed to have it all. So let's start off by talking about that melee system. In For Honor, you can jump into a multitude of different online and custom game modes, with two of my favourites being the 1v1 and the Capture the Zone game modes. In these game modes, you can try out their system in such a great way. The zone one, you push up as a team as seen in the gameplay here and try and capture the zones, while enemy forces try and hold you back. There's a defensive and attackive side, and the melee combos can be used to take out large groups of enemy forces. While in the 1v1 game mode, as stated, it's just you versus one other hero. This can be an offline bot or in the online circumstances, another player. For Honor's menu and interface are easy to navigate through, not clustered or overwhelming, which gives a clean and slick feel and makes you just want to play the game, which a lot of action fighting games in third person just don't have these days, and I like it a lot. For Honor has a lot of heroes and characters, which is maybe too many because the story doesn't go in depth with their backstories, and the story leaves you a lot to be desired about what the characters are. However, it does have a great customization options, and that lets you put your story into them, lets you design armor pieces and the weapons they hold, which is just a great ability, and the depth of customization is probably this game's biggest attribute. You can dismantle pieces that you no longer need because they're too low level, and you use the dismantled currency to upgrade the pieces you like. And I love this system in games. It's been around for so long, and this game uses it in such a great way. I love the different ways you can see the items and see them in game as well, because a lot of games you can customize an item and in game you just don't see that item. However, with the Vikings, for instance, with the axe, you can see it in such a great way when you're slamming it through an enemy's head. However, in-game currency is used but hard to get through games, while you can buy your own currency, which I don't like at all. Now, going back to a part which I touched on slightly, the campaign. The campaign just doesn't have enough for me, and it's just not worth playing. Not to mention, you have to be online to play it anyway. And the cutscenes and cinematics are great. However, the voice acting is something out of a comedy show.
Ready. Lead the way.
Deserters?
But however, the look of the game is very good. The environment and even characters' graphics are very good for a 2017 game still. However, the AIs don't really do much to help you. As you can see by this gameplay, my teammate just kind of stands there with a shield up the whole time while I try and attack 4 knights. It's not great, and it just doesn't feel realistic at all, and when you're 3v1 in this game, it's just not fun at all, and you feel like you're going to lose every single battle. As the stamina bar and health drops as 2 attack you at once, you can't do the combos you need to take out all 3. However, my teammate comes in and gets 1 hit there. It just leaves you feeling like there's no coordination. And for a game where there's army based, just can't happen like that at all. Another problem I found with this game is the camera angles. And as you go into tight corners or doorways, the camera will just automatically go into bird's eye view, which makes it really hard to lock on to opponents. You can do the lock on as seen here, but when you're 3v1, it's not recommended, as you're just going to get hit from behind all the time. Now in online game modes, you can join one of the 3 teams, the Vikings, the Knights or the Samurais, and it's a clan warfare to take over the whole of the map. You get points and currency throughout each week depending on what has been taken over by your team. However, matchmaking into the game after a year or 2 years of the game being out takes too long, as it is skill based matchmaking, and if you are a lower level or just starting a game, it will take you a few minutes just to get into a game. And even if you do match against players, it's almost certain that a couple will drop out and the matchmaking will start all over again, even if it just needs 1 player to add in. However, you can vote for what map you want, and I love this system in any game because then you don't get a repetitiveness of the same maps over and over again. However, the favourite maps do pop up a lot, which I really like about this game. Now, what do I give For Honor overall? Well, this game has a lot, and the combat is something that I just cannot take away from the score. So I do give it a 6.7 out of 10. However, the campaign needs a little bit something else.